Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever it is that you are. Welcome to the first day of our training mini series, which is on selling, moving from the energy of fear to the energy of selling as an act of love. Now, there's not many people who believe that that is possible, that it is possible to sell from a space of love and not from a space of fear. Okay, so I'm here to say that I'm about to change that. I'm about to change that thinking. So please get your pen and paper ready, hop online, let me know who's online. Even if it is that you are watching the replay, I'd love to hear from you. Hashtag replay, and let me know. I am loving to hear from you guys. Okay, so I am just sharing this to a few of my groups so that it's the same. I don't need to wonder about whether or not my students are seeing it or not. So that's out of the way. All right. All right, so if you have your pen and paper, you have your water, your cup of coffee, I have both, because I am ready to start my little teaching stint, which I love, of course. The first thing that you must know about me is that teaching is my first love. So I hope that that makes you feel as if you are in a better place or in the right space right now, because I sure am. Okay, so please stay till the end, please, because there is some exciting announcement right at the end, and I am so looking forward to sharing that information with you later. So please do. If you're hopping online, please give me a like, give me some hearts, give me a hello, and I would like to hear from you. All right. So I started off this announcement in last week where I said I'm going to be coming to do this training with you all. And the reason why I came up with this particular topic is because I'm finding a lot of my clients sitting with the challenge of not selling, okay? Not even just the fear of selling, they're just not selling, period. And this is a bit of a challenge when it comes to business, okay, and business owners. We cannot for 1 minute expect that, we are going to just sit back and, meditate on it and hope to God that, clients are going to come to us. That has some relevance, which I'll explain later on in the week, when I will be talking about the energy that you need to imbibe within yourself in order to create sales. Okay, but for now, today, the first thing that I'm wanting to speak about is the fear of selling. I want to talk about how we fill ourselves with trepidation, with fear, and the resultant inaction, because we are just thinking that, I don't know what it is that we're thinking. Okay, now, hello, Louise, love. I have been there. I have been there where I have not had any sales, where I've had the fear of, phoning people up or sending them an email. And I've even on top of that fear had the fear of, not having enough money to make ends meet at the end of the month, or, not having enough to be able to create the things that I'm choosing to create. So it's a real issue, and I find that many small businesses, many entrepreneurs have this challenge. Okay, now the first thing that I'm wanting you to consider and even to just contemplate on is, what is it that you are fearing about selling? Okay, and please help me out on this. Your comments are going to be very vital to this conversation and this learning. We're going to make it as interactive as we can. And so I'm asking you to let me know, what is it that we are fearing? What is it that is holding us back in selling? What is it that's going on in our minds that is saying, no, I can't do that? Okay. Hello, Noel. Thank you for joining, my love. So please let me know. Some of the things that I've heard of late from some of my clients is, they have the fear of being rejected. They have the fear of, what were some of them? Fear of being rejected, fear of being, putting themselves out there, the fear of visibility, the low self-esteem, they don't have confidence in selling. Of course, your fears is also resultant in limiting behaviors. So it's not just something that you thinking of, what am I super afraid of. We're also looking at those things that are limiting us from actually doing the action of selling. Okay. I have had people telling me that, oh, I don't want to come across as pushy. I don't want to come across as salesy. I just want to be the best version of myself and let people come to me. I've had people say, hello, Karine. Wow, Karine, well done, sweetheart. You're on a live, my love. I've had people say, I don't know, a whole bunch of different fears. So help me out. Let me know what it is that you fear about selling. Why do you think or perceive that you are not able to go out and sell? Because this is going to be where we're going to be working from. Okay. Now, remembering also that the part of the topic of why I had stated talking about, moving from the fear of selling to the energy of selling as an act of love. I have figured out during this year, largely also again, through my work that I've done on myself, the coaches that I've been seeing and that I have in my life, and the mastermind groups that I have in my life, I've come to realize that selling is love made visible. Okay. And I'd like you to write that down. Selling is love made visible. But you see, love cannot be made visible if I'm constantly sitting in a state of fear. If I'm constantly sitting and giving into believing my limiting beliefs. And so that becomes a challenge when I give into my limiting beliefs and I give into my fears, which loosely translated, and this may sound harsh, but you know me, I'm going to call a spade a spade. Those are all excuses. Those are all excuses because we fear taking action. We fear that how we may be perceived. We fear how others may see us. We fear on not doing the right thing. We fear on failure, or we fear we will fail. We fear that we can't handle the responses that we may get. And so therein lies a great challenge. Okay. Hello, Samir. Samir says, I think that fear of great success is greater than that of failure. It comes up for me sometimes and hinders the flow of abundance. Absolutely. Now, there again, that fear of success and I of great success, and I'm not going to change your words because it's very pertinent at this point. I want you to write that down. I want each of you to write down as many fears, limiting beliefs, excuses that you have of why you are not making contact with others, why you are not going out, either phoning someone, emailing them, sending them a message, meeting people up for coffee. Why is it that you are not doing that? Okay, because we need to know what our limitations are in order to do away with them. So now here's the thing about doing away with them. For anything in life, and it's not just for selling, remember I keep on repeating this, that whatever it is that I teach in one particular topic is actually for any area of your life. So be it your personal life, your relationships, your image, your whatever it is that you're wanting to work on. Know that when you are looking at the limitations that you have, write them down because they can't stay here. Okay, they can't stay here. This is where it festers. This is where it becomes it works itself in a way to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, And so we have to kind of separate ourselves and get it out of our minds and onto paper. Okay. And when we're putting it onto paper, it's as if we are now going to coach someone else. Okay. We are going to help someone else go through what it is that they are challenged by. And this is the first step, because when we are in something or something is within us, we feel immobilized. We feel like we can't move. We feel like this thing is weighing us down. And so in this beautiful example that Samir has given, if he is to take that situation outside of himself and know full well that now he's about to coach someone else, okay, on that very, very thing, what is it that he's going to be saying to that person? How is he going to be reframing their point of reference, their model of the world, their understanding of what success is and why that fear is most likely not true? Okay, so I want us to kind of, write down as many of those things as we possibly can, because it does actually lend itself to where we're going with this as well. Once we've written down what it is that we are afraid of, that we may feel is limiting us, there's one fundamental thing that needs to happen that very, very few people do. I find that it is a step that is missing in many of the guru step process along the line. And that process or that step is decide. Decide. Choose. Okay. Choose what it is that you'd rather like as a reality. And decide that that is what you're going to choose from now on. Okay. But if we don't make a choice, if we don't decide, and if we are not definitive on it, whatever it is that we are fearing, whatever it is that is holding us back, will perpetuate. And we know that anything that perpetuates only grows and becomes stronger. So let it not grow and become stronger, your fear, but rather what you choose as a reality, let that grow and become stronger. Hello, Shamiz, my love. So, take that and make that grow rather than choosing your fears. Okay. And I know it's very easier said than done that we choose, what we rather want and decide on what we rather want rather than our fear. However, as I said last week, and I repeatedly say it on many of my live trainings and in my classes, fear cannot exist in the space of love. Okay. Fear cannot exist in the space of love. So, for me, that is my saving grace. It is my everything when I start working, or even when I approach something. I even have gone to as far as asking myself, what would love do in this situation? Okay. If love is an embodiment right now, if love is, this being in front of me and having a conversation, what would love do? Okay. Because it cannot exist in the space of fear as well. Hello, Karen, love. Nawal says, consume too much of my time, boundaries. Okay, you may just need a bit of explanation there, Nawal. If you are saying that selling consumes too much of your time, then there too is an answer for that, or something of the sorts. This is the interesting thing. Sales or selling does not need to take your entire day. In fact, it should never take your entire day. Okay, it literally can take 1 hour, even less of your day. And preferably in the morning after you have done your energetic tuning, if you meditate in the morning, or if it's your prayer state in the morning, or that you've connected with your ideal client, then that is the time in the morning in which to immediately after that, to just, whoever comes to your mind that feel could do great things and move boundaries and move mountains if they had service from you. Okay. because those are the things. If you are speaking about boundaries, as in your boundaries of not wanting to sell to someone and you don't want to cross over in that boundaries, very good point, my love. It is something that I am going to talk about in the coming days. So in the next 4 days, I'm definitely talking about that. Because I think that also conjures up this whole thing about I don't want to be I don't want to be too pushy. I don't want to come across as salesy. I don't want to impose on people's lives. And I want to be able to change that perception, Nawal, because it was definitely something that I sat with late last year, and I've done away with it now. Okay. Oh, Shamiz, thank you, my love. Really do appreciate it. Thank you, love. So it's in the making, Shamiz, if you must know. So, so we have all of these things, okay, that is going on in our minds. Now, the thing about fear and these limiting beliefs and these excuses that we create, they are just that. Okay. And again, I don't want you to be hard on yourself here. I don't want you to, call yourself out and, get angry with yourself and say, fuck, I just have all of these excuses. And no, that's not it. Okay. Because you're going to do another spiral, and that spiral is not something that you want, my love. Okay. You want to just be able to call yourself out and say, you know what, maybe that is an excuse. Okay. Again, to a loved one, to someone who you care so dearly about, how would you tell them that that's an excuse? Are you just going to wag your finger and say, no, that's an excuse? Or are you actually going to come up with the most love and the most tact and diplomacy to be able to say, my love, is it not time that we recognize that this may just be an excuse? Because if it is, we can do something about it. So again, the gentleness with self is something that is extremely important in this entire process. And I know it sounds very weird that I'm talking about selling and I'm talking about love and being gentle with yourself and all of those things. It sounds contrary to everything that you may have heard before this. Okay. But this is exactly why I wanted to come live to you people with this this form of my teaching. Okay. It's an important factor. So, and again, this is the very reason why I created something like the Accelerated Expansion Group. It's these type of things that I want to be able to put in an incubator for people so that they can come and learn with me on a weekly basis and come and grow with me on a weekly basis, because no one needs to sit with the heaviness, with the burden that is created of my excuses, my limiting beliefs, the I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. No one needs to sit with that. Okay. And I just want to be able to make that very, very clear. No one needs to sit with that. So if we're sitting with that fear and the trepidations and the limiting beliefs and all of those things, when we gently call ourselves and lovingly call ourselves out on those excuses, we need to make a decision that is some place or some way of being that we no longer choose to be. Okay. When we choose to no longer be that way, there is something that we can do. Now, here's the thing. Many people assume that whatever it is challenging in my life, that is wrong in my life, that is a problem in my life, that is, my business is doing this and it's not doing that, or I'm not doing enough of this in my business and not that, is something that we just need to find the opposite and start doing that. No, that's where we're all going wrong. Okay. Your fear is not something to put aside and then choose, oh, you know what, I'm rather going to choose the opposite action of fear. That's not it. In order to overcome anything, we actually have to work through it, go through it, in order for it to transform, transcend, to transmute to something far greater. Okay? And that for me is the pertinent issue. So, hello Ilam, hello Widad. So that for me is the big thing, so we have to go through it. And this is part of the process of why I'm saying, write down all of the things that you find you are using as your reasons or your excuses of why you are not selling every day. And I'm talking about every day. Okay, you can leave out Saturdays and Sundays if that's your weekend, and surely it's your clients' weekends as well. But Monday to Friday, what are the reasons why you are not selling? What is it that you are fearing? What is it that you have bought into believing about yourself or even about your clients? What are you perceiving about your clients that is the reason why you are not selling? Write all of that down. Make a big list, okay? Because it's going to become very important for you to make this big list, okay? And again, if your list has got 5 things, hallelujah. If it's got 50, then so be it. The more you can get out there, the better off you are, okay? So move from there, okay? So once you have that, you need to ask yourself the question, and this is best done when you are feeling centered and feeling connected to your higher self, and asking yourself, why are those reasons, those excuses, those perceptions not correct? Why are they false perceptions? Okay? Reframe them. Find out what is the real reason. Okay? Coach yourself through this. If this was someone else asking you for advice, giving you all of these things, what would you say to them? Okay? Again, like I was saying to my master students in Bali, the easiest way for you, or not the easiest, it becomes imperative, I find, that in order to coach yourself or even to deal with any of your issues, okay, you first need to extract that issue from yourself and make it separate to you, okay? Because doing it inside here, it's a hard way to do it, okay? So, easier, best way to be able to do that. Let me just see, what is Samir saying? I think that selling or sales has become a dirty word with so much negativity associated to it. Our understanding thereof also needs to be transmuted through love. Exactly. Okay. And that's why I say that me connecting with a client or potential client is my act of love. It's ultimately my act of love. It is just, it's love made visible. And again, please allow me to explain that tomorrow or in the coming days. But tomorrow is definitely the day when I start talking about the act of love part. I do, however, first want us to get through this fear aspect. But that's a very good point. And thank you so much for pointing that out. Shamiz also says, I was hitting a block when I do that. Exactly. You will be hitting a block when we try to concentrate on the fear factor rather than anything else. Hello, Nadia. Lovely to have you, sis. I have both my sisters online. How cool are that? How cool is that? So my challenge that I'm going to put to you guys this week or for today, okay, is that I want you to make that, long or short or medium, however, but be true to yourself. Okay, because the process is going to require for you to be true to yourself. Make a list of all the things that you are finding as excuses. Excuses why you are not selling. Excuses why you are not reaching out. Excuses of why you are not asking someone else to serve them from a space of love. Okay, and when you have written all of that down, then ask yourself, why is that not true? Why is that excuse? Why is it even possible? I want you just to entertain the idea of why is that not true. Okay. And the way in which also to ask yourself why this is not true. Ask yourself, what would your higher self tell you? Is your higher self saying that that is true? Because I'm going to give you a guarantee and tell you that your higher mind is not going to find it true. And you know why I know your higher mind is not going to find it true? Because the one thing that you desire, the growth that you are aspiring to, the expansion that you are aspiring to, the increase in abundance, in wealth, in being able to serve more and more people is already there for you, because otherwise you would not have been able to think it up. Okay? You would not be able to think it up because your higher mind has already brought that into your awareness, which means the probability of it becoming a very, very real reality for you is massive. Okay, it is massive. Whatever it is that you can dream or conjure up or even just create as a vision in your mind is already there for you. Okay, and I would not be saying this if I did not know how true it is. I know how true it is because I've been there, because I am doing it, because I am living it. Okay, and you, I mean, you can, yeah, I get quite passionate about this. I could quite easily foam at the mouth because of it, but it is something that just it gets me so inspired to know that my higher self, the universe, the divine universe, has got my back every millisecond of the day. It's me and you in this instance listening to me. It's us that holds us back. And it's our minds that we're conjuring up all these limitations. You know, that is so not true. It's so not true. Okay? So write all of those down. So on one page, I want you to write down all of the excuses. On another page, I want you to reframe them and say why they are not true. And then your final act that I want you to do, that I'm challenging you to do, is that I want you to take that first page, the list of all your excuses, and I want you to burn it, my love. I want you to burn it with the best of intentions. I don't want you to burn it as, now, if that, fuck that, you know, you're no longer. No, that's anger. Okay? Burn it. Because it's lovingly no more part of you. Okay? Please, I'm going to ask you to participate in this challenge and to get us all going and revving and everything else. I want you to post it on my page. I want you to post your things that you wrote down. I want you to write your first page. I want you to write your second page, or even just give me a picture of your limitations being burnt and place that on this live video, or you could be posting it just on my page so that we all could be getting more excited in seeing everyone else's things happening. Okay? And in that way also we grow a collective energy of how we support each other, letting go of what no longer serves and building us up into what we are going to. Okay, so I hope that's going to help. I'm sure it is going to work. And give me, give me as many of your responses as you possibly can. Now, while I was saying shadow belief all consuming, I'm not fully grasping what you are saying, my love. I do get the shadow belief, but the all consuming, drop me a direct message and just kind of expand on that for me, please. I'm sensing it's important to you, so if you can expand on that for me, then I'll be happy to respond in your direct message, as well as maybe bring it into the training material in the coming days. All right. So for the most of you, please, if you do have any questions or comments, please pop them now. For the most of you, and all of you do know that this training series is starting today, but it is running until Friday. What is also running and open up until Friday is the final chance to be part of my accelerated expansion with Noha Close Collective Group. Okay, it is a monthly subscription fee that you will be paying to this amazing group, that we are going to do exactly things like this. Okay, we are going to be building on helping you grow yourself and your business to be able to make your business the best damn thing in your life. I know it sounds crazy sometimes, but it certainly is the best damn thing in my life, apart from my beautiful family. And I really want to be able to help others experience the same thing as well. So if you are struggling with making sales an act of love, if you are struggling getting through the self-confidence bit, if you are struggling with standing in your power and getting your message heard, your message out there to serve more people, if your great desire and your major aspiration is to serve as many people as you possibly can, without getting into burnout and still having free time as I do. I mean, I did nothing prior to this. Then please do join this group. For me, it's an absolute no-brainer. Okay. It's an absolute no-brainer to be able to be in an incubator space where I'm going to be teaching you day in and day out, week on week, to be able to help you not just expand as a human being, but as a business owner. Okay, the more entrepreneurs we can have in this world, the better off we are, to help grow economies, to help grow families and communities. So please do join. I will put the link up on this post as well, or I'll put it in the what do you call it, in the commentary in this live video as well. And then please do join us. The costing of this accelerated expansion is £97 per month, and it will be going up after the 16th, which is Friday. It will be going up to £197 per month. So please do join now within this week, today if you can, because I'm thinking that I'm supposed to be capping this incubator to at least 30 people. So please be among the first 30 people that I take in on this group, and let us grow together. Okay, let me help you grow, and let me help you grow your clients as well, because that would really, really be a huge blessing in my life. Yes, Samir, absolutely. Your network is equal to your net worth, but so is your self-worth also equal to your network, or your net worth rather. And I'd love so much to be able to teach that and show that. So if there are no other questions, you know that my mini training series are not for long. They're 20 to 30 minutes, and I think I may have just gone over it today. But tomorrow I will be speaking about how do we move into the act of love of selling. Okay. And for those of you that have joined me live, thank you so much for being here and for spending your 30 minutes with me. For those of you who are watching the replay, you haven't missed out. Please do let us know that you're watching the replay, #replay, and please do join in on the conversation. I do actually respond to all of your messages later on in the day. So from me, from my heart to yours, with deep gratitude and thankfulness for joining me today. I see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. GMT plus 2 South African time and European time, which is 10 a.m. GMT, which is UK time. Thank you so much for joining me, and from my side to you, with all my love and gratitude, goodbye.